Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing great over here with a very long day, despite the fatigue and the things necessary to, get certain things done and to make sure that things are assertively and aggressively done. And I mean that in a very, very tactical way because for some of us, like individuals, myself, everything I go at aggressive. I go hard. I go as extremely. It's almost like overkill in a sense, because to me, there's no such thing as waiting or complacency. I don't believe in just because you get to a certain place that it's time to get comfortable, But today, I was talking to a great friend of mine, and we were talking about how hard you can grind and scratch and claw and making the decisions necessary to get to that opportunity that you've finally been looking for, and then you finally get there. And the question is do you deliver? You know, um, a lot of times life, and I'm not gonna say a lot of times, all the time, life has a way of presenting to you challenges to show you about yourself along the way. And me and my friend, we were talking about this heavily. The one thing about a person, more than anything, that life will teach you is your character, your integrity. If you have to manipulate, if you have to lie, if you have to get somebody to scheme their way out of getting a certain opportunities, it speaks a lot about that particular person because obviously they can't stand a candle to you. They can't. They the insecurity. They know that they are already defeated. They can't have you on the same level as them. And I've been saying that. I've been saying that lately. You know, and for whatever reason, why people do it, it is what it is. But for the individuals that continue to keep going, because there's a powerful message in that. Because it shows you just how powerful you are, especially considering the time that is taking, not just for you to get there, but the fact that you will go through all these obstacles and you go through the difference, the plots, the lies, the schemes, I mean sometimes betrayal, depending on where you where you are with things. And it says something about that individual that's able to just constantly just keep pushing and moving because there's something about that person. I've always said faith and logic are two different things. You know, faith to tell you that there are two roads. Where you see everybody else, go the other way. Logic will tell you there are two roads in life. Where you see everybody else, that's where you really want to go. Because if everybody's over there, it's got to be right, right? You know. And the conversation didn't stop there. My friend began to just let me know, like, if you really truly want something, when you get there, there's no such thing as waiting on somebody to validate you. You know how hard you worked. You know how hard it took for you to get there. So why do you feel like you are privileged or you are what was the word? It wasn't just privileged. It was another word for what makes you think that you're above everything you went through to get to where you are and not give it your all. And a lot of times, a lot of people will look at that because they're thinking about their friends or they're thinking about their family, whatever the circumstance is, or they're waiting on somebody else to try to do it right, but you knew what you were looking for. You know, greatness will offend people, period, no matter what it is. Greatness will offend people. And a lot of times people have got to get past the way, not just the way people think, but a lot of times how they think of themselves. I think that's actually one of the biggest hurdles people go through is because of the fact they're used to how people see them and they can be liked, but they know there's another level. And instead of taking that level, they are caught up in how everybody else sees them. And I'm gonna tell you, there's no growth in that. There's complacency, there's laziness, but there's no growth in that. It's and as I can continue to keep going on about the conversation because it hit home on so many levels. Because even with my business and seeing how things are growing and, getting a chance to submit my scripts and actually talking to other different producers and seeing what they're looking for and all of these different things, it's great to hear the comments. It's great to hear the compliments. But, it's something about what are you looking for? Is anybody that important to where you will stop doing what you're doing and miss out on everything you ever wanted? And and I love talking to my friend, and I don't really talk about who the friend is, but it's beautiful because we have a beautiful rapport, and it's always real. But those great points, the fact that you have these great points that we bring up in our conversations in everyday life, because you would be surprised on the things people sit on every single day. A relationship, just because they've been around somebody for so long and they have this rapport, but yet they know it's something more in them, but because they don't want to offend somebody, they stay where they are, and not just offend to make a person mad, because they're going to be mad, but there's different ways to offend people. You can offend people in their ego. You can offend people in their pride. You can offend people the way they think about you. You can offend them for the simple fact they never thought that was in you. You can offend people just from the simple fact of making them quirky or making them say something back at you, because in one sense, in their eyes now, you're better than them. And they don't want to say that. But now it's like, where did that person get that work ethic from? Where did they get that why are they so aggressive? Why are they so gifted? Why are they so creative? Why are they so talented? You know, a lot of times you really got to look at yourself. You don't want to go to bed, and this is another one that he was letting me know. You're the one that goes to bed at night. You don't want to lay your head on that pillow. You the one that's got to deal with those feelings and those emotions. What's more important? Is it you getting to where you always wanted to get to because of the simple fact you worked hard and you have that feeling of knowing the success that you've always desired? Or is it the fact that when people say, hey, you know what, it's okay, not everybody gets it. Not everybody, gets to where they want to get to. Everybody comes up short, or everybody, whatever the excuse is. Are you okay with just playing in the field? Or do you really see yourself separating yourself from everybody? Like I said, the conversation was deep. And like I said, for me, even with what I do and how I do it, even just looking at not just America, but if you look at the different nations of the earth, man, people have titles for everything nowadays. If you're this, then you're that. If you're this, then you're that. And one of the things that we talked about is, if all they can see you is for your ethnic background or whatever the case may be, but they do not know your name, you are nothing. And I will never forget those words, because it's something when everybody looks at you and they say, okay, that was a cool guy, yeah, he was great, yeah, da 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 da. But it's something else when they say, that guy there was the absolute best at what he did. It's two totally different things. Respect and being liked are two different things. I would rather a person dislike me, but one thing I won't put up with is the fact that the only reason why a person will be okay with me is because they feel comfortable around me. And not comfortable around me because things are real. No, comfortable around me because their work ethic is not where I am. Or they don't see themselves being dimmed down. Around them, their insecurities are okay, But with that, I'm not going to keep this much longer. But like I said, even just looking at my company and how things are going, it's making me think. Because not that I've ever had any kind of notion of ever dimming myself down for anybody. I'm just being honest with you. I don't care for that. That's never been in my repertoire. I've never cared for it. I've always been a person that has looked at how I feel about myself regarding things, especially when it comes to going after the things of the success and the things I've ever wanted in my life. I've never hidden that. It comes off selfish sometimes to people, or arrogant, cocky. You hear a lot of things, but you gotta always understand is who's saying it. Because you'll always be cocky to somebody who can't do what you do. You'll always be arrogant to somebody who can't reach you. You'll always be selfish to somebody who can't pull their way or manipulate you to go a different direction than you're going, because the simple fact of the matter is they know how great you are. Because sometimes your enemies will see how good you are before you do. That's real. And a lot of people don't realize that. You don't have to wait to be successful to see how strong you are. All you have to do is just look at how many people are opposing you. That's all you have to do, you know? And like I said, I know I've never hidden it. I've never hidden it, but this conversation hit home so many times for me today. Just all the different points. You know, people don't talk about people. That ain't about nothing. And listen, it's not even the fact that you reach a certain status or anything, but if you really got something, you really know you got something, you can't expect it all for it to be that easy. Now, your gift, your talent will make it look easy. Yeah, it'll make it look easy. But let me tell you now, if you expecting it to, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it today, and then like it just blows up. I mean, if you're fortunate that way for it to happen, right on, you know, that's awesome. But if you're really looking for that longevity of success, not just being a success, but being successful, whereas you have that fullness of being success, where like you're sustained, you're solid, your foundation is compact, where it's not, you know, like shaky or inconsistent, you know, that type of deal. It's gonna be some work. You gotta work your gift. It's the only way it's gonna work. But I'm gonna be honest with you, because I think that was the very last point. You have to be real with yourself, and that's one of my golden rules in life. Don't be delusional to yourself. Know how you got there. You can't expect to go in a situation, especially with people that you don't know. Let's say that you get an opportunity, you're around people. You can't forget the principles in which got you there. Because at the end of the day, you know, you avoid those, you stray away from those principles. You will lose the character, you will lose the root in that plant in which you then planted all this time, and then before you know it, things get unraveled. No, you gotta double down. Because you gotta remember, especially if you're going into places where it's new people and things of that nature, you can't expect to change people like that. Or the best thing to ever do in going to anything is go in there and get your respect. Period, hands down. That comes first more than anything. Man, that's just being real. It ain't about, you know, how a person feels or whatever the case may be. Who cares about that? And like I said, the conversation today just spoke out. I just had to, in one sense, share about it because, I mean, a lot of this was everything that I live by anyway. You know, you don't stop until you know you're comfortable. Now, when everybody else say you're comfortable, if you get on their nerves, oh well. If they don't like you, oh well. If they don't seem to agree with you, you're not friend. Oh well. Again, you're the one that goes to bed at night. You're the one that, you know, deal with your emotions. You know what you thought of. You know what it was. It was like, man, I could have done this. I always tell myself, don't you wake up that next morning with that empty feeling in your stomach, knowing you could have did more. Nobody is that important. Nobody. And with that, you know, I'm gonna leave it out. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for the night with this. But as tired as I am, hitting the gym, working on my scripts, working on my business plan, looking at a new house, looking at all this different stuff, I'm always pushing. It wasn't nothing like this conversation right here. It just motivates me even more. I mean, it's just how I am. And it's like ain't no such thing as the wheels falling off until it's like I can't even ride the rims no more, you know, that type of deal. That's just how it is. Just never be comfortable. Should be no reason you're looking at somebody that you know you can outwork. You know that, I don't care how people look at this, you know you better than. And when y'all working out, y'all doing the same reps. Or when y'all doing something, y'all doing the same exact thing. There's no way. No way. If you know you're not on the same level, you should always do more than the next person. It's a mental thing. It's a heart thing. It's a spiritual thing. You can't think you can do it. You got to know you can do it. And with that, you know, if you're not where you need to be, it should be no reason why you're, you know, just sitting around, not doing anything, even when you got time to do it, unless, you know, of course, obviously you've been working. But I don't know, you know, I know everybody's built different, but I'm telling you, it's something about chasing after who you are. Greatness will offend people. No matter what it is, no matter what color, what background, what you're doing, greatness will offend people. Period. End of discussion. But with that, I hope you had a great day. I know my day was great. It was awesome. Got a lot done, and I'm still going to use this motivation that I've got now, this new fire, to even push forward more than I have before. And with that, I'm going to say good night, more than likely tomorrow, come up with another one. But again, for those that don't know, JagWar Entertainment, my company, several different projects now, pitching them all like crazy. I am getting feedback, but JagWarEntertainment.com. Check out the website. That is JagWar, as in J-A-W. Jagwar Entertainment. JagWar, not Jaguar, as in the animal. JagWar. Jagwar. JagWarEntertainment.com. With that, good night. Have a good and safe night. You all be safe out there. See you later.